So CyberWorld literally just dropped, and I have some thoughts.
What is this? Ignorant life forms have no idea what they've uncovered.
As of recording this, the episode was released on the official Transformers YouTube channel about 2 days ago. It's 10 minutes long. We get introduced to Prime, V, Megatron, and Grimlock. Also Scorponok. And there's not much else to say about it. Apparently, the series takes place in this mysterious VR world. I'm sure that's not riding off the back of anything.
I am Optimus Prime.
Whatever you say, kid.
For the sake of this review, first impressions, whatever this is, here's a recap. We open on Optimus crashing on some sort of planet, confused on how he got here.
Surface terrain appears to be bioorganic. This is certainly not Cybertron.
As Optimus wanders around, he comes across a desert biome and sees what looks like an Autobot ship or shuttle or something in the distance. After running towards it, shouting his speech, he is predictably jumped by Scorponok, who is looking as badass as ever, I might say. After making an obligatory axe reference,
There's usually an axe.
Optimus runs for his life and just barely escapes Scorponok as he heads back into the jungle. Optimus gets a random health spawn, and again is immediately jumped by everyone's favorite Dinobot, Grimlock. He immediately attacks Optimus, and we get a pretty cool fight scene. It's pretty sick. Cut to this masterpiece of a frame, and Bumblebee wakes up, also disoriented.
Oh, thank Primus. Huh?
I smell you, boy!
Megatron pins him down, and they yap for a bit. I don't know, something Megatron winning, I don't know. Anyway, Megatron offers to help B for whatever reason.
For us to survive here, Bumblebee, we will need to be ruthless winners. We need...
Hit the targets.
Okay, this is different. Megatron explains nothing to Bumblebee and turns into a bull. And I'm just gonna say right here that I don't know how I feel about this decision. On the one hand, Megatron being represented by a bull is a really neat idea. I think it could make a good parallel to the pits of Kaon and bullfights, and a metaphor for how he was seen and treated under the rule of the Senate. But on the other hand, I'm not really vibing with the design. I really can't explain it. But maybe it'll grow on me, I don't know. So after getting the hang of the minigame, and it seems like Megatron's won, it actually turns out B won, because he actually hit the targets and didn't destroy him. I don't know how long Megatron has been here, but I feel like he should have known what the exact objective was, but okay. So B levels up or something, and Megatron seems to be weakened. I don't know why this would happen, but whatever. Anyway, Megatron shoots B, which is honestly fair. He's been really annoying up to this point. After hitting the Peter Griffin pose, B is soon found by Optimus where he collapses in his arms. And that was CyberWorld. In the way of story, there isn't much to go off of. It's only the first episode, and that's understandable. It's supposed to be something we uncover as it goes on. Through our environment and through clunky dialogue, we know that this is a world of that this is a video game world of sorts. The first-person POVs obviously show a big old XP bar, and Optimus is given this energy spawn that he comments on as being real.
It's real.
And that whole minigame, of course. And with other more hostile characters appearing, it really reminds me of the Hunger Games. For how games are designed, they are meant to be pitted against each other individually, ignoring Autobot and Decepticon factions. Megatron straight up confirms this. But if the Cybertronians are playing the role of the districts, who's playing the role of the capital? Quintessons. I mean, do I really need to elaborate on that? It's the Quintessons. That was literally the plot of Season 3 in Cyberverse.
I hate this.
But that's just a theory. Again! But this brings me to the point of the timeline. If B and Optimus have only just showed up, I would have assumed that everyone else would have just gotten here too, right? But again, through clunky dialogue, there is a timeline. Grimlock has obviously been here a while, and one could assume Megatron has been here a while to have reached level 8. But then Bumblebee says this.
You did it, didn't you? You won! You and your Decepticreeps!
Which begs the question of how much time has passed from this to this. Of course, memories do appear to be all scrambled, but it still confuses me. Or maybe I'm interpreting everything wrong and I'm an idiot. Of course, Megatron could be pretending he knows things, trying to establish some kind of power dynamic, which is honestly in character for him. But this brings me to the topic of characterization. I honestly don't like Optimus and Bumblebee very much so far, mostly just due to the fact I find them both annoying. I feel like this is mostly due to the dialogue. The characters are constantly talking and describing what's going on. His dialogue doesn't really feel like Optimus either. It feels more like G1 Rodimus. His actions, movements, feel more like Rodimus. In other words, he's a bit more goofy.
No matter what happens, hold your positions!
Which isn't a bad thing, but this isn't the Optimus in my head and how I imagine him. Of course, this is me being very nitpicky, but that's only because Optimus is such a special character to me. He's obviously going to change no matter what continuity he's in, but so far, I'm not vibing with CYBERWORLD Optimus. And as for Bumblebee, I straight up just find him really annoying, like, there's not much else to say there. Which honestly makes me upset because Bumblebee is like one of my all-time favorite Transformers characters. I own the Bumblebee Lego set, like, come on. He just is annoying. And not in that charming way he can sometimes be. Just straight up annoying. Megatron was so real for shooting him.
Nice shot!
As harsh as I may be, I genuinely like the environmental design. It's simple and effective. I like the sudden shifts in biomes, and you can even see it as Optimus is falling, that clear border from jungle to desert. And even though I think the first-person POVs are a tad overused in this episode, the screens are well designed. I love the Armada-style profile pictures so much, like, it's so fun to see. Even in the 2D art, it's reminiscent of Armada, which is pretty cool. Armada is, like, so peak.
We got what we came for. It's time to head home. Yes, sir! Sayonara! We forgot the kid!
I also love the little details when characters are looking at certain objects. Names show up, much like a real video game. The text on screen is accurate too. I actually translated what was on screen whenever Cybertronian was shown. I really appreciate when artists take time to write in other languages, even fictional ones. It adds a lot of depth and gives a fun puzzle for crazy people to decipher. Adding on to that, I also love the detail of whenever characters are hit. There's a pixel effect. Overall, selling the video game setting very well. Now on to the topic of character designs. I've already talked about Megatron. The bull face on his chest is very Beast Wars. His face is structured like Generation 1, and the horns remind me of his Armada counterpart, but not as extreme.
Look at those pathetic fools. They've all been buried alive.
That's great, sir, but the Minicon is buried too.
Then why don't you go and dig it up, you numbskull?
Why should I have to spell everything out for you?
Optimus is also very basic, pretty much just his evergreen design. But his face shape reminds me of his War for Cybertron trilogy appearance, which I really loved. Bumblebee, on the other hand, has a lot we can talk about. Like most iterations these days, B has his cute little horns and rounder face. Hello, Generation 1.
My null ray will stop your squirming for a while.
But instead of the hood being attached to his feet, it is instead where his chest is. He's had this design before, but not as protruding. It's also fun how the hood looks like a Camaro from the Bayverse movies. There's only one thing I can't ignore with this design. No car door wings. I love the car door wings. They're so freaking cute and they suit them so well, and I don't know how anyone could make the decision to not have the car door wings. And this is very personal to me. I'm being stupid. But whatever. I don't have much to say about Grimlock and Scorponok. It's Grimlock and Scorponok, what do I have to say? But there is a point I can mention with all the characters. It's how much they look like toys. And yes, I know Transformers is a franchise made to sell toys. I know. But it's interesting to see how almost plasticky they look compared to metal. I think Optimus is the most obvious, especially in the desert scenes under the harsh lighting. And it's not like I have a problem with it. It just caught my attention while watching it and admittedly kind of distracted me a bit. I didn't notice it as much with the others, except this one clip of Bumblebee, but I do see how it could go with toy sales. A lot of the time, characters in this show look nothing like their toys, because you obviously have to think about the mechanics for the toy, which is harder than doing some slight trickery of the model when animating. If you want your Transformer to look accurate to the show, there are usually figures that don't transform. I own a few of these. As a kid, I did find it jarring how the actual toys look nothing like the show. So I do hope at least the transition between animation to toy will look nicer, but that does depend on how cheap Hasbro is willing to go with the toys. Of course, I know nothing about the toy side of things, so I could be spouting nonsense right now. For my first impression, CYBERWORLD wasn't bad, but that doesn't mean I particularly liked it. It didn't feel like one episode, it felt like two with the sudden shift of perspectives. And this isn't a bad thing by any means, but it made the pacing, in my opinion, feel off. Speaking of pacing, it's weird. For one thing, it feels like the characters are constantly talking. Optimus just kept yapping to himself, and then started to annoy me really quickly. There was too much dialogue packed into this one episode. And I know I've already talked about that, but I just felt like I needed to bring it up again. But the show isn't really designed to be consumed slowly. It very much felt like I was watching a collection of shorts. But this is how TV is designed these days, to keep kids on their iPads engaged, which means something always has to be happening, or they risk the kid getting bored and clicking off. Which is honestly something that really bothers me. Being as consumable as possible is more important. And I don't mean to undermine the work that people put into this, there's clearly a lot of passion put into CYBERWORLD. And this is just a whole other thing that I don't want to have a conversation about right now. Children's media, it's a whole other conversation. I honestly think that CYBERWORLD would benefit greatly with a longer runtime, in my opinion, structured something like Cyberverse, whose episodes were 10 minutes long. Cyberverse is honestly, so underrated in my opinion. Come on, watch Cyberverse, please. CYBERWORLD isn't made for me, and I'm very aware of that. It's made for little kids. Am I being too critical? Maybe, but there were things about the episode I did genuinely like. I didn't mention the voice acting. The voice acting's pretty good. I'll say that. And I will admit I am intrigued by the story, but mostly due to the fact that I have an addiction. I'm honestly only sticking around to see Alita 1. Seriously, Alita Boat? I want to see that! I love how much she looks like Heatwave in this shot, unironically.
It's a white whale, I say! Arg! Skin your eyes for him, men! Look sharp!
Next movie night, can we rent a romantic comedy?
And those were my thoughts on CYBERWORLD. I am a huge fan of film and animation, obviously. And sometimes I just can't help but make reviews on these things. I write them down, but I've never made a video before. So this is different, but I've always wanted to. But I didn't think how that would be received, but I'm doing it anyway. And most of my criticisms really do come from a place of love, because I really do love Transformers so much. And this is just the because I want to see the franchise succeed or do well. I don't know. I didn't even mean to go into so much detail. Like, just as I rewatched it a few times, there was just so many little details that I kept noticing that probably only crazy people notice. And I just felt like I had to mention them because really there was a lot of effort put into this, and I want to appreciate the art put in. Anyway, I know I'm not using sprites that I drew. Last time I used the sprites and did this kind of video, it was the evolution video, and I didn't really feel like using the old sprites. And also just because I don't have access to the file right now. Yeah, I don't have access to my laptop at all, so this is just all on my tablet and phone. So also that might be why the audio is a bit weird. I apologize for that. I'm recording on my phone. And I've also been kind of sick, so yeah. Let me know down below what you guys think and if my opinions are wrong. And if I should never make a video like this again. And I'll see you in the next one.